25.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
What happened to spring? Where'd it go?
Well, it took a little hiatus.
Yeah, a little. I snow driving up the hill this morning, and I couldn't believe it.
Well, I mean, we just started springtime, and we're still in March and eventually early April. And everyone who has lived here knows that spring doesn't really truly begin until late April and eventually early May. June, maybe some snowpack still on the ground then. A lot of folks still have snow on the ground this morning as well, from especially up north with several feet still. But a look at the current conditions right now. 32 in Rome, 30 Hamilton. It's hovered just below freezing. And you can see here in Oneonta, generally overcast skies and a few flurries as well falling in the air. Now, something to mention as well, on my drive in this morning, there actually were areas of patchy freezing drizzle where this light drizzle on your windshield will freeze over. You can see the very, very faint signatures right here with those very narrow bands with the passes of all that snowfall from that front out to the east. So this morning, you could run into some of these very narrow, less than a mile wide bands as they move through the area, but it's not an everlasting event. It's going to be a windy start, a windy afternoon, but still plenty of sunshine by, say, 12 p.m., 2 p.m. onwards, with highs in the upper 30s, low 40s. Wind chills obviously a little cooler. We're saying goodbye to 60s and 70s for at least the near future. We'll take a look at that temperature trend and how the rest of March shapes up in that full forecast. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, the Oneida County
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 5:11 on this Friday morning. As you head out the door today, well, at least early in the morning, you might need to grab that umbrella or even grab that scraper or snow brush, depending on your location, as a light passing snow shower rolled through overnight, as well as some lingering flurries and drizzle early this morning. But a look at the area roadways right now. Things are still okay on the main roads. Side roads should be okay as well. Lots of green on the traffic tracker early today. Now the radar, as you can see here, a lot of that widespread rain and snow has exited into the capital region, and this morning just a few very narrow bands you can see right here of some light freezing drizzle and flurries at this time. So today, waking up, you'll be encountering that patchy drizzle. This afternoon, though, the sun moves in with high temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. On Thursday, investigators...
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning on this Friday, everyone. After the first day of spring yesterday, it almost felt like this would continue on, the 60s and warmth, but not quite the case today. We're back to reality. Downtown Utica live view, overcast skies here in the city, and as you head south and north, there are some areas of patchy freezing drizzle. Just a heads up for that some of that drizzle falling might freeze on your windshield. It's a windy one out there. Wind speeds from the west-northwest at around 18 miles an hour. And the radar, you can barely pick up on that very low-lying drizzle layer right here. It's very faint, but you can see the continuous line passing from Cooperstown up north of Oneida Lake here, as well as near the radar scans up in Lewis County. You can see some of these narrow bands as well. So that's what we're dealing with this morning, and this is expected to end later on this morning with a lot more sunshine expected. So high temperatures today, a bit of a far cry from the 70s and 60s the past few days, but I will say the winds remain pretty strong, nearing 20 miles per hour, and that feels like temperature hovering in the 20s and low 30s. So one of those days you want to grab that extra layer jacket and maybe keep it on all day long, but you will need those sunglasses for the second half of the day today. Winds remain strong from today through Saturday. The winds do weaken by Sunday, but return again as we start into next week as a blustery stretch of weather moves in. And speaking of the stretch moving forward, we're not expecting for the end of March any more 70-degree days or warm stretches like that. In fact, quite the opposite. More so lining in towards 50s, 40s, and 30s for at least the next 5 to 7 days, even next 8 to 14 days as well, leading into the first week of April. We might see a brief warm spell here and there, but the overall trend is on the cool side, at least to wrap up the month. So that cold front moved through, and as we head into this afternoon, high pressure moves in briefly. Then by Saturday, a round of rain and snow returns as it looks rather unsettled to start your weekend. So today, those clouds and flurries and drizzle end, and we'll see sunshine, windy conditions, highs in the upper 30s, low 40s. Then by tonight, 20s, mainly clear skies. A south wind begins to move in, and we'll see a round of scattered rain showers, even a few flurries in those hilltops. And then by Saturday evening and overnight, we'll see lake effects, snow bands roll through. Not a whole lot of impact with these, but still, you can't rule out some dustings of snow here and there. And then that snow does end and sunshine moves in heading into Sunday, but still a cold one for your Sunday. Your 7-day forecast, rain moves in again on Monday, and you can see here that overall temperature trend. And Ben, it looks to me that you're not very happy with that temperature.
I'm not. I'm not. It's spring. No, we had 70 degrees yesterday. What?
Ben, you do realize that we're in full spring right now. We're back to our second winter, you know.
Sprinter.
Yeah,
Spring and winter. It's the
name.
mix. Yeah. I gotta trademark that. Thanks for reminding me. Thank you very much, Eric. The time now 5:22. Still as that in his Storm Tracker 2 forecast. It's Friday, March 21st, 2025.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Say it ain't snow. Say it ain't snow that I saw this morning. Please.
Well, I wish I could tell your eyes are deceiving you, but then I wouldn't recommend you driving into work.
Thanks.
But we do have plenty of snow shower, or at least light snow flurries and patchy freezing drizzle this morning as the backside of a cold front has rolled through and we say goodbye to spring conditions over the next couple of hours. And so as we take a look now momentarily at the current conditions, temperatures are in the 30s with some areas of flurries as well. Those temperatures starting out in the 30s, eventually climbing into the 40s as we head into this afternoon and into this evening. So, matter of fact, as we take a look at the radar right now, what I can tell you is a lot of that widespread snowfall has ended, mixed in with that rain, which has since passed out toward Albany at this time. Temperatures out there also in the 30s as well. So that widespread snow and rain is over and done with. But again, this morning, we've got some very narrow bands of some rain and snow moving through our area. It's not producing a whole lot in terms of accumulation, but some drizzle and even some light dustings of snow are possible, especially in those hilltop areas. So what are we expecting throughout the rest of the day today? Well, this cloud cover and these areas of rain and snow do end, and sunshine moves in as we head into this afternoon with high temperatures only in the upper 30s, low 40s. So it's still going to be a cold one today. Wind chills cooler as well, and we are expecting a slight warm-up tomorrow, but we'll of course take a look at how that long-range pattern shows coming up in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget that Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, President
Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sunrise, our photo of the day today, our first photo of the day for springtime. Yes, our spring photos are going to come in here, and we already have a lot of great submissions, but I do want to showcase this photo taken in Rome. Shout out to Rome this morning. by Jamie Goodwin of the very colorful sunrise yesterday. And I will add, this was not only a mixture of mid to upper level clouds, which usually produce that in the early morning sun, but also there was some elevated dust in the atmosphere, believe it or not, and that could have added to that very colorful sunrise. So an amazing photo right here to showcase the first sunrise of spring, and we'll of course have a lot more spring photos coming up next week, every weekday, of course, right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise. So today, cold start, doesn't quite feel like spring this morning. In fact, it won't quite feel like spring throughout the day today, with those cold temperatures only peaking in the upper 30s, low 40s. But plenty of sun does arrive. We'll have a look at if that sticks around into the weekend or if more unsettled weather is on the way in that forecast in a few minutes. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. The Herkimer County Prevention Council held this...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Friday, second day of spring, although it doesn't quite feel like spring out there today, with even a few flurries falling. A live look at downtown Utica right now. It's a quieter start to the day today with just overcast skies, but some of our sky watchers reporting flurries and drizzle at this time. And in fact, we'll showcase that in the radar momentarily. It is a windy one out there this morning, 18 miles per hour, feels like 20. So one of those days you want to grab that extra layer. It's going to feel like winter time yet again. It's currently sitting at 32. Throughout the day, we'll warm up only a few more degrees. So here's a look at the radar right now. And for example, some of you up near on your Old Forge, Webb, in Inlet, you've got that very narrow band of flurries taking place right now, enough for a dusting of snowfall. As you head down to the Mohawk Valley, where you're hovering just around freezing, there's actually areas of patchy freezing drizzle, where that rain is falling as very light mist and then freezing over on your windshields and whatnot. So just a heads up this morning as you're going to encounter that in these very narrow, less than a mile wide bands. The widespread rain and snow has exited our area. And as you head throughout the day today, although high temperatures only climb into the low 40s, wind chills will be a lot cooler. You can see here only in the low 30s. But when it comes to any impactful weather, the clouds do end and sunshine moves in this afternoon. So although it'll be a cooler one, you'll at least have sunny skies to look out your window this afternoon. So winds remain still pretty steady and stronger today. Same thing for Saturday, more from the south. Winds weaken on Sunday, but the overall weather pattern favors windy conditions heading into next week. Along with heading into next week, when it comes to conditions, cooler temperatures are still expected. So for the end of March into early April, I'm not expecting anything to be on the very warm side. I don't think 70s or even 80s are possible in the near term. I think more so 40s, 30s, and even 50s in some spots. So just a heads up that we're entering a cooler pattern for the next, between now through the next 14 or so days. So, low pressure exiting to our east, and we'll see a brief quiet stretch today, followed by some rain and snow showers heading into Saturday. So we're going to be seeing on and off rain, followed by sunshine here and there. So today, initially, flurries and patchy freezing drizzle. That ends, sunshine moves in. Winds are still pretty strong. Highs upper 30s, low 40s. Tonight, clear skies, south wind moves in. Partly cloudy, turning over to some scattered rain and snow throughout the day Saturday. Then by the evening, westerly winds kick in. A few scattered lake effect snow bands. Nothing major when it comes to accumulation, but still blowing snow possibility. Then by Sunday, sunshine returns again with high temperatures in the 30s, nearing 40 degrees. So the next few days, sunshine, then rain and snow, then sunshine, then rain and snow. So on and off regarding that front. But then as we head into next week, more unsettled weather with rain and snow chances and highs in the 40s and 30s. So we've got a bit of a cool one heading into next week, a return to winter time.
A bit? A return to it's March. Just
well, Ben, listen.
Can we get an early spring, please, with the winter we've had? Is it too much to ask?
Well, director just said it's too. Said yes.
Apparently
very short
it
answer.
Is. Good.
It's too much to ask, Ben. We are still in you know, it's central New York in March. We're going to get this.
All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Well, the auto industry.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And my eyes did not deceive me as I was heading up Smith Hill this morning. A quick changeover from rain to snow. I was not happy to see it. Is it going away?
At least for the foreseeable future,
All right,
we're not
good.
done with rain and snow.
No, I don't like that.
Well, I would say for the first half, maybe you were appreciating the answer. But early this morning, for the next couple of hours, we are expecting some areas of patchy flurries and, yes, patchy freezing drizzle. And I'll showcase that in a second. Oneonta, a live view early this morning, facing the eastern sky, mainly overcast down in the city of the hills. But I want to focus more on what's going on in the radar. So, to your east, where you see out near Albany heading into Vermont and eventually parts of Massachusetts, rain and snow. But here locally, we've got at least some areas of very narrow bands of snow showers. In fact, in the Mohawk Valley, where those temperatures are hovering right around the freezing point, as we, in fact, take a look right here, some very narrow bands. What these are areas of patchy freezing drizzle. So early this morning, you could see rain falling on your windshield, but then it'll freeze momentarily. So that's the traffic alert we were mentioning early this morning. Watch out for some icy spots early today. But following that, we do warm up above freezing, although very little above freezing. But plenty of sun is expected today with high temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. We are tracking an unsettled weekend, at least the start of the weekend, with some rain and snow chances as well. A look at that full forecast is coming up. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning. Happy second day of spring, but happy first day or first full day of spring here in central New York. But it won't quite feel like that out there today. I look at some area roadways right now. Things are dry in some spots, damp in others. And when it comes to dampness, it could either be some snow showers or even areas of patchy freezing drizzle. Now look at the traffic tracker early this morning. Things are looking mainly quiet, a lot of green across the board. I'm going to look at this icon, which just popped up here moments ago. It appears to be just in parts of Montgomery County. In its fallen power cables on Route 163 from Garfield Street to County Route 64. So that's way out toward the, down in the Mohawk Valley near Canajoharie, or I should say down near parts of, I would say in parts of Montgomery County momentarily. But again, this morning that's out to the south and to the east. The radar picking up on a few areas of patchy flurries and freezing drizzle. Some of these spots right here, very narrow lines. It's falling under the radar scans in a lot of spots, very close to the surface, but still, you could encounter that early this morning. And this morning, aside from that, things do dry out. Clouds end and sunshine moves in with high temperatures peaking in the upper 30s to low 40s. So a cool Friday is expected. And will this continue into the weekend, or will there be a warm-up on the way? We'll have a look at that in that full forecast. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. On Thursday, investigators from the transportation...
Don't let the weather spoil your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity.
Car crash and hurt your body?
You know what to do.
Call Harding Mazzotti.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Friday. Happy first full day of spring. And as we look to Old Forge this morning, it doesn't quite look like spring out there today. We've got some snow-covered side roads there, a light dusting here and there, but just a heads up in those highest of elevations up north that you might encounter some travel issues heading out to work early this morning. So it's a live view right now, sitting at 24 crisp degrees up in the North Country. Downtown Utica, it's a dry start. really no travel impacts on those main roads, but a heads up that the winds are pretty strong. Feels like 18 out. It's a cold morning. Feels like temperature down in the teens. So just a heads up when it comes to that. But along with the cold weather, we've got some areas of patchy freezing drizzle and flurries indicated by some of these very narrow faint bands. You can see one south of Hamilton, a couple up north, and a couple in the Mohawk Valley, which are falling below the radar scans. Just a side note as well, since we've had a lot of, quote, invisible snow this year, I do want to emphasize this is not a new thing. It's happened before. It's just that with the weather pattern we've had recently, there's a lot more of it happening where these low-lying cloud layers are producing some very almost invisible snow bands across the area. And that means that it is still raining and snowing out, just the radar can't pick up on it because it's so low to the ground. So today, highs upper 30s, low 40s, wind speeds pretty strong, nearing 20 miles per hour today. Feels like temperature in the low 30s this afternoon. When it comes to cloud cover, the good news is this cloud, rain, snow, whatever, does end this morning, and we will see more sunshine this afternoon. Windy conditions persist today and tomorrow, does end temporarily Sunday before breezy conditions return again by Monday of next week. And speaking of next week and even beyond to the end of March, there's no warm-up expected, so say goodbye to 70s and maybe upper 60s for at least the near term, not only for this coming week, but also 8 to 14 days out. Still a generally cooler than average weather pattern is expected. We potentially could see a few warmer days here and there, but the overall trend is on the cool side. So this low pressure system, that cold front has moved through. Brief dry spell today. By tonight and tomorrow, here we are with some more rain and snow showers. Lake effect snow overnight Saturday night, and then on Sunday, a return to sunshine but cooler weather. So today, sunshine moves in, high temperatures climb into the upper 30s, low 40s. Wind chills obviously cooler, about 10 degrees cooler than the temperature on paper. Then by Saturday morning, starting out quiet, followed by rain and snow moving in the afternoon, and then some scattered lake effect snow bands Saturday night into Sunday. This doesn't appear to produce a decent accumulation, but still some light dustings of snow here and there are possible. Then throughout Sunday, sunshine begins to move in. So your 7-day forecast, we appear to be back to a more wintry pattern, but I would say seeing upper 30s, low 40s. I wouldn't say it's too bad for March standards, but still we are ending the month on a cooler note after a brief warm stint in the middle of the week.
Could definitely be better.
Yeah, it could be warmer, but also could be cooler. It could be in the
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Below zero, so.
Yeah. All right, we'll take it. Thank you very much, Eric. Hey, be sure to like us on...
Comes first, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Let's start this half hour with another look at the weather, which drives me nuts because...
You're not too happy
70s.
this morning.
No, I'm not, because I saw snow. It's March. There shouldn't be snow.
Well, you're underestimating central New York's weather. You know, it's a lot. Yeah, we're still in March, and so we can't rule out snow just yet. Look at the weather this morning. A heads up if you're heading out the door. Not only if you will be seeing what Ben saw, which was an area of snow showers, but also the potential for patchy freezing drizzle. And I'll showcase that in a second. You can see here most of the area in the 30s and 20s early this morning. It's a cool start for your first full day of spring. And look at Oneonta right now. We've got an overcast scene out in the distance there. Potentially no view of seeing a colorful sunrise like yesterday. But a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Although that widespread rain and snow, you can see the blues on your screen out toward Albany and eventually beyond. What we are tracking are some very narrow bands. You can see them. They are less than a mile wide in some spots, of some flurries and even some patchy freezing drizzle. So this morning, you might encounter that early today. By the way, just a recap, patchy freezing drizzle is rain showers that are freezing as they hit your windshield or hit surfaces. So some spots, potentially untreated surfaces, could be a little bit on the slick side. But besides that, this afternoon we warm up into the upper 30s, low 40s. Plenty of sunshine. Winds remain strong. We have a look at if this continues into the weekend or if we will see more rain and snow coming up in that full forecast. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, President
Farms Bakery in Delhi.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Friday morning and our first spring photo of the day today as we enter the spring season. Now, it doesn't quite feel like spring out there today, but when it comes to our photo of the day, our first sunrise of spring yesterday was an amazing shot of the sunrise taken in Rome. Shout out to Rome this morning by Jamie Goodwin. And as you can see out in the sky there, not only were there a bunch of alto cumulus clouds, even some cirrus clouds producing that vibrant orange and pink and purple, we also had some dust up in the atmosphere as well, which did produce more of a faint glow than usual. And of course, the more particles you have in the atmosphere with that right sun angle, you get a breathtaking sunrise. So amazing photo right here. If you would like to submit a photo like this one, you can send it to the link right there on the top of your screen, WKTV.com/weather/pics. And going off the weather topic here for a second, when it comes to archives here at our station, I dug up something that will be posted on our social media platforms and our website tomorrow. Speaking of Rome, it was a story run of the proposed realignment of the base back in 1993 and a lot of background information on that. And again, it'll be posted tomorrow at 11 a.m. So if you're interested in seeing some vintage video of the Griffiss base as it was proposed to be realigned, we'll have that for you up tomorrow. So again, archives, still plenty of it to go through, and it's a great thing to witness a lot of history in the making here in the area. Unfortunately, not the best history when it came to our local area, but it's something nonetheless that shaped how Oneida County and Rome moved forward beyond the 90s. Ben?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Herkimer County Prevention.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Springtime, which was in the air yesterday, even on the last day of winter, not quite the case today. Live looking Old Forge right now, early this morning. Some snow-covered surfaces as a light dusting of snow has since rolled through, and still some spots witnessing it right now. And we'll showcase that in the radar in a second. 24 the temperature in Old Forge. Downtown Utica, mainly quiet with overcast skies, and conditions at Griffiss and Rome sitting at 31 degrees with cloudy skies as well. Strong winds of 22 miles an hour. Feels like 18 out this morning. So heading out the door, grab that extra layer of coat. It's going to be a cool one today. So the radar, as I mentioned, still some bands of flurries and drizzle, even freezing drizzle if that. And you can see some of these right here, some patches of whites here and there. South of Hamilton. Even in parts of the Mohawk Valley, seeing some of that early today as well. So watch out for some icy spots on untreated surfaces early this morning. Throughout the day, high temperatures peak in the upper 30s, low 40s. Again, with those strong winds today approaching nearing 20 miles per hour, that feels like temperature remaining on the cold side, only in the upper 20s, low 30s. When it comes to cloud cover, though, the clouds and drizzle and flurries end this morning, and sunshine, plenty of it, moves in this afternoon. So I guess that's a silver lining. It will be a cold and windy day today. The winds persist from the south on Saturday, quieting down on Sunday, returning again on Monday. So a bit of a blustery stretch looking ahead to the near term. And while we're also focusing on the near term, the next few days ending March still appears to be a cooler than average stretch. Don't expect to see 70s and 60s for at least a little bit. And even beyond that, into beginning of April, 8 to 14 days out, we're still looking at a cooler than average pattern. Maybe a warm day here and there, but the overall pattern shows more cold weather. So a reminder, as we enter the first days of spring, don't quite put away all your snow stuff just yet. Keep that snow shovel handy. Don't take off your snow tires and whatnot, because we still could see snow chances in the near term. So, bigger picture. Here we are with low pressure exiting. Brief dry weather today, followed by rain and snow showers tomorrow, and some lingering lake effect overnight into early Sunday morning. But on our Skycast, zooming in today, clouds and flurries and drizzle end. Sunshine moves in with high temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s. Tonight, mainly quiet. By early tomorrow, potentially starting out with sunshine, giving way to clouds, rain, and even some snow up in the higher elevations. And then as that system rolls through, potentially some lake effect snow bands move through the area. At least when it comes to these snow bands, I don't expect to produce notable accumulations, maybe a light dusting here and there. But it does cool down early Sunday, overnight lows in the teens and potentially low 20s. Then Sunday, plenty of sun rolls its way in. It's going to be a pretty dry end to the weekend. But as we head into next week, still cooler than average, 40s and 30s, with rain and snow chances here and there. We'll, of course, cross that bridge when we get to it, but at least for now, it's going to be a cooler than average stretch, Ben, and we're not saying hi to very warm spring-like weather just yet. We had an early tease, but it was full spring. We're back to our second winter. So.
Great. Love it.
I hear the sarcasm.
Yeah, can you? Good. I've been working on that a little bit. All right, thanks very much, Eric.
With Gary Liberatore.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And some snowflakes fell overnight.
Yes.
70s the past 2 days. You spoiled us, but now back to reality.
Yeah, here we are with wintertime making its return. Again, we are still in the battle of the seasons right now, and so far the cold is winning out, but at least the sun is shining out there today. A look at the area across central New York on the Mesonet camera network. You can see plenty of blue skies, which is great news. There are no stubborn clouds like were in place earlier this morning. In fact, you can see a lot of that snow melting up north. We were not even some of those healthiest snowpacks. Woodgate right here, which about 2 or 3 weeks ago had the snow up to the top of that fence there, is now you can see some bare ground there as well. Redfield, Osceola, Old Forge, starting to see that bare ground. But at least today, it's only minor melting. The sun is shining, but it's only in the low 30s. 35 in Rome, 32 Hamilton. The warmest temperature sitting down in Poughkeepsie at 44 degrees. So we got a cold stretch on the way, at least for today. Radar is entirely dry. Earlier this morning, we had very light areas of flurries, as Gary mentioned, and patchy freezing drizzle, which has since ended and sun has moved in. So when it comes to weather impacts today, it's still a windy one out there. Wind speeds between 15 and 20 miles per hour, but besides that, we warm up into the low 40s, cooling down tonight with clear skies, and we make a return to unsettled weather tomorrow, but will that last all weekend long? We'll have a detailed look at that weekend forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Some very good news this noon regarding the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Plenty of sun has moved in today, but looks are deceiving. It's windy and it's cool out, a sharp contrast compared to earlier in the week. Look at downtown Utica right now. Again, it's gorgeous blue skies. It's cool out there. Temperature officially sitting at 35 degrees at Rome, but notice that strong 23-mile-an-hour wind. It's actually the same wind speed as the feels like temperature, which currently sits at 23 degrees. So it's a cold one out there with a blustery wind, and that'll persist for much of the day today. Radar is quieting down after a somewhat busy morning, depending on location. These very narrow bands of snow and freezing drizzle rolled through the area. So some locations did wake up to a dusting of snow and maybe even a light coating of ice in other spots. But again, that since has ended, and high pressure is moving in temporarily. But notice in the backside of this high pressure, here comes our next system, which will bring rain, mainly rain to the Mohawk Valley, but some snow potentially in those higher elevations north. So remainder of the day today, upper 30s, low 40s. It won't quite feel like that with that wind chill. Remains in the 30s and 20s. So still that afternoon where you don't want to put that jacket away. Keep it handy. If you use it this morning, you'll use it again this evening. And the winds remain persistent tomorrow as well, although it will feel a little warmer. We'll have a south wind at play here. Then winds somewhat die down on Sunday before returning again by the start of next week. And while we're on the topic of next week, our final days of March heading into April won't be a warm blast like what we saw last weekend in the middle of this week. In fact, quite the opposite. We're not expecting to see anything between now and the next 8 to 14 days indicating a stretch of 60s and 70s like what we saw. Maybe after April 1st, a warmer day of 60 or above here and there, but at least for the near term, we are looking at a cooler than average stretch, which means more cold days than warm days. So, bigger picture, high pressure in place temporarily, then here comes that rain and snow tomorrow. It's going to produce initially rain showers in the daytime, and then by the evening and overnight, some lake effect backside snowfall there. So, today, clear skies, tonight, clear skies, and tomorrow morning, early round of sunshine before rain and snow rolls in. Again, higher elevations north could see that wet snow mix in. Then Saturday night into Sunday, we'll see that lake effect snow band move its way south of the area. I'm not expecting any notable accumulation from this, maybe a dusting of snow if that, but then that snow diminishes and we will see some sunshine roll in for the second half of the weekend. And of course, it is our first full weekend, or in fact, first weekend anyways, of springtime, but it won't quite feel like spring like last weekend, which we were blessed with such amazing weather for the parade, and even middle of the week this past week in the 70s. So a little bit of a delay before we finally get back to that again, but at least it's sunny on Sunday.
44 on Sunday, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, flights to and from meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, you kind of spoiled us the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah, we got 70s. It was an early taste of spring. Then spring hit, and where did the 70s go?
Back to winter.
Yeah, here we are back to winter again. In fact, look at that weekend forecast. It isn't expected to be that cold. We're talking 40s both days. A little cooler on Sunday. Most of the day will actually be spent in the 30s, but rain showers mixed in with snow later on in the day expected on Saturday. And then sunshine moves in on Sunday, a high of 40. So this is what you can expect this weekend. No 60s and 70s like what we saw last weekend. But of course, we'll take what Mother Nature gives us. We are still in late March, by the way. A look at the Mesonet camera network. Notice a lot of blue skies and a lot of snowmelt. Nearly completely bare ground in areas in the Mohawk Valley and south. And even in those areas up north, which had very dense snowpack, a lot of spots here with the bare sun still, or bare ground looking at the sun, you can see here some snowmelt. By the way, Woodgate had that snow up to near the fence there. That has since melted as well. So temperatures this afternoon are expected to climb even more into the upper 30s, low 40s. The wind chills somewhat cooling things down, though. It feels like temperature will be in the 20s and 30s for much of the day today. We are having a more detailed look at this coming weekend forecast, plus what it looks like beyond this weekend, heading into next week, and that, of course, will be coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A Southwest Airlines flight almost.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are looking at plenty of sun today after an unsettled morning with flurries and even some patchy, freezing drizzle. And in fact, downtown Utica, barely a cloud in the sky, a few wispy alto cumulus clouds here and there, but they are, of course, few and far between. And the current conditions out there right now, we're sitting at a 35-degree afternoon with a strong westerly wind of 23 miles an hour. That is a very strong wind, which keeps those feels-like temperatures down into the 20s. Still very dry humidity as of this point. The radar looking entirely quiet after, again, some very narrow bands of flurries and drizzle this morning, which have since ended as high pressure slowly moves its way east. following that high pressure, we are tracking another round of rain and snow, and we'll of course get to that in a second. But first, I want to mention the changing conditions, or at least what we're looking ahead to beyond this weekend and into next week. So today, temperatures peaking upper 30s, low 40s. Obviously, with those wind chills, it's going to feel a lot cooler, only in the upper 20s, low 30s throughout the day today. So keep that jacket handy. When it comes to wind speeds, winds remain strong heading into tomorrow, but tomorrow won't feel nearly as cold. We are heading up into the mid 40s, potentially low 50s in some spots with a south wind. And of course, those of you that have lived here long enough know that south wind is a lot warmer than a north wind. So heading into tomorrow, still a little windy. Winds coming to an end a little bit on Sunday before returning by Monday and Tuesday of next week. And speaking of next week, everyone wants to know, well, it is springtime officially. Will spring be in the air? And what we can tell you is at least for the next 6 to 10 days and 8 to 14 days here, there's a general trend of cooler than average weather. Now, this doesn't mean by early April we can see a 60-degree day here and there, but what this tells us is the overall jet stream pattern has a lot more cold air working its way down. We'll have a lot more 30s, 40s, and 50s rather than 60s and 70s. So at least for the near term, just we're getting back to reality here. It is still late March, early April, and these types of weather patterns are still possible. So we are in the midst of cooling weather and even some snow chances here and there. In fact, our next snow chance will be tomorrow night. Here we are with some rain showers rolling in tomorrow afternoon, maybe a few flurries or at least wet snow mixing in up in the higher elevations, but then backside lake effect snow could roll through. This isn't going to produce a whole lot of snow, but still the chances are there. So our skycast today, windy conditions, plenty of sunshine, highs in the 30s, cooling down into the 20s and 30s tonight with that south wind kicking in. Then tomorrow afternoon, scattered rain showers mixed in with a few flurries, and then by tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, we can see those lake effect snow bands sweeping south. We're not expecting any decent accumulation, maybe a dusting here and there as we head into early Sunday, as that winds down and clouds give way to sunshine by the afternoon as we are tracking a cool and breezy but sunny Sunday to wrap up the weekend. And so following Sunday, we warm up a little bit again on Monday, high of 47 degrees, and then back down into the low 40s, upper 30s from Tuesday and Wednesday. So overall, pretty cool stretch to wrap up March. And heading into April, again, the cooler pattern does continue. So we were spoiled with those 70s and 60s, so we'll hope to see that eventually a couple of weeks from now. But again, at least today, looking a little bit on the cool side.
And we're not too bad in that 7 days.
It's not bad. You know, it could be below zero. We've had, it's been a pretty busy winter, so we'll take this compared to what we've seen so far.
That's for sure. Well, March Madness is under.
Heading into our weekend with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Chilly day today, very windy, very cold. We've got clear skies in place. It's going to be a pretty nice start to the weekend. Let me show you what's going on. The Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is quiet. Tonight, temperatures are going to free fall. We're sitting at 39 degrees, windy conditions. It's making it feel more like 30 degrees. And we're tracking clear skies tonight and solar activity, which means we have a chance of seeing the northern lights locally. Looks like after sunset's going to be the best time for that. Clouds, showers return Saturday. Windy weather is going to continue throughout a good portion of the next 7 days. It is March, and that wind is not going to let up. This evening, sunny, windy, temperatures will fall into the 30s. Again, a dry start to the weekend, but some rain returns as we head late into Saturday. I've got to look at a stretch of weather when things will finally warm up. We'll look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The dismantling of the Department of Education.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are tracking lots of sunshine today. It's chilly, it's windy, and this weather is going to stick around for the weekend. We will see more cloud cover on Saturday compared to today. Let's take a look outside. Bluebird sky, looking downtown Utica. It looks nice, but it's cold. That wind really has a bite to it. 39 degrees, the temperature in downtown Utica. With the wind, it feels more like low 30s. Clear skies tonight means we have a chance of seeing the northern lights. I just got a notification from the Space Weather Prediction Center that there's some solar activity that just spiked, and they think it's going to last into tonight. Should that be the case, we would be able to see this. We would want to look to the north after sunset, and we want to wait until probably 8:30 when it gets dark enough. And you want to look to the north for a faint glow. Having a camera gives you a better view of this. Put the camera in night mode, you'll have even better luck. The conditions are expected to wane from midnight beyond, but again, forecasting this, it's a new science. And if you think weather forecasting is tricky, this is really difficult to do. But there is a chance that we could see this tonight. There's always surprises. Sometimes the forecast ends up underperforming, sometimes it overperforms, and that actually happens a lot. So there is a chance of, it's worthwhile to check it out tonight, especially with the clear skies. We don't have to contend with any cloud cover, but it is going to be pretty chilly. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, clear skies in place. Tomorrow is going to be a different day. Clouds return, generally rain showers, some snow showers in the hilltops Saturday afternoon, a high of 49. Sunday, cold and sunny with temperatures near 40 degrees. That March wind continues to roar. Looking at windy conditions tomorrow, breezy conditions Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Just a reminder, March is the windiest time of the year. If you're shocked that it's windy, it's just the time of year. It is going to stay that way, at least for the next several days. Westernville, 41. Deansboro, 36. Little Falls, 42. Also, Southern Valleys, Cooperstown, 27. Sherburne, 45. The next weather maker approaches from the northwest. This is a weak area of low pressure. Skies remain clear tonight, so again, if you're checking out the northern lights, the sky cover should not be a problem. Skies will become cloudy tomorrow morning. Temperatures will start out in the 20s, will climb into the upper 40s. Light raining showers are expected. Could see a few snow showers mixing in from time to time. Little accumulation is expected. Saturday night, skies clear out. Overnight lows drop into the low 20s, and it's beautiful on Sunday, but it's going to be another cold day with temperatures only in the upper 30s to near 40. Clear skies tonight, low of 28. Tomorrow, rain showers, a few light snow showers late, windy, 49. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Next week remains unsettled. Rain showers Monday, 47. Rain and snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday. We do get a chance to dry out later in the week, and we do start to warm up, temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. But this is a reminder, the average high in the upper 40s this time of the year. We've just been so spoiled.
Yeah.
Back to reality for now.
But I love the spring background, making
That
us
is
feel good.
nice.
It looks nice, doesn't
Hey,
it?
there are things blooming right now.
That's true. We
Which
get
is
an early
wild.
start. Yeah.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Many air travelers worldwide go down.
That is tonight's sunset. That is
Sunset,
correct.
the lights
Yes.
go down. You know what I mean.
Yes. So we're going to be tracking a pretty nice night tonight. A chance to see the northern lights. But before we get into that, I wanted to give a shout out today to some of the young ones. This is Albany Elementary School. I was reading to Mrs. Savicki's class for their Community Readers Day. So the whole group of us were out for this, and they were very well behaved. And I want to give them a shout out. They had a lot of interesting questions about weather as well. As we look ahead, the weather staying on the chilly side. We're going to be in the 40s throughout the weekend and into early next week. Next chance of rain looks to be tomorrow afternoon. It does look relatively light. The good news is we're not seeing any significant snow in our future, because we do sometimes get that even in late March, sometimes even into early April and beyond. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet this evening. If you are taking the dog out for a walk, bundle up. It's cold out there. The wind is going to be sticking around. Temperatures will drop into the 30s. Tonight's featured dog, Bella from Whitesboro. This is brought to you by Nissan. We've got to look at that weekend forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Assemblywoman Marianne Button-Shawn.
You need to know. Will they need a jacket? An umbrella? What should your kids wear to school tomorrow? Get the bus stop forecast only from Storm Tracker 2. Brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A windy, cold day today. The winds were relentless across the Mohawk Valley. We've seen wind gusts over 30 miles an hour for a good portion of the day. And the winds are going to be continuing tomorrow. Live look in Oneonta, 37 degrees, clear skies. With clear skies in place and solar activity that's been detected, we have the chance of seeing the northern lights tonight. The Space Weather Prediction Center is calling for a moderate geomagnetic storm, which means we could see the northern lights as far south as central New York. The strategy here is to check early. So check after sunset, about an hour after sunset when it gets dark enough. Look to the north, be away from city lights, and you might be able to see this with your naked eye. It might be strong enough tonight, but you'll have better luck with a camera in night mode that helps kind of draw out some of the colors. And again, early on looks to be better, but again, it's forecasting the northern lights. It's a brand new science, and there's a lot of hiccups and a lot to be learned with this. But again, with clear skies in place, I think it's worth a shot. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across the region. Rain and a little bit of snow returns tomorrow. More of this rain. Temperatures in the upper 40s. It's sunny. It's cold on Sunday. The wind is going to continue throughout the weekend, although it looks to be a little bit less than today. Sunday's high temperature, 40 degrees. Winds will continue into early next week. Again, it's just March. I know it's really sometimes it can be very obnoxious to have so much wind. But this is the windiest month of the year, and the end of the month tends to be just as windy as the beginning of the month. By the time we get into April, that's when the winds will start to ease back here across central New York. Skywatchers checking in. Whitesboro, 37 degrees. Clinton, 40. Micah, Hartford, 40 degrees. 40 in Norway, 41. Jeff checking in Mohawk, Skidivas, Gary, 44. Carroll and Worcester with 35. Next weather system approaches from the west. It's a weak area of low pressure, bringing some clouds and a few sprinkles and light rain showers as we head into late Saturday. Clear skies tonight, overnight lows in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, clouds will return. A little bit of sunshine early in the day, but it's mostly cloudy throughout the day. Some rain showers arrive in the afternoon. A few light snow showers are possible as well. A little accumulation is expected. Tomorrow night, overnight lows drop down into the 20s. On Sunday, it's back to sunshine. Another cold and breezy day with high temperatures in the upper 30s. Clear skies tonight, low of 28. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, rain showers, windy, high of 49. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine on Sunday, 40 degrees. Rain showers on Monday, 47. The weather looks unsettled early next week. Rain and snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures in the upper 30s. We're into the mid to upper 40s with mostly cloudy skies looking ahead to Thursday and Friday. We'll be right back.
Weekend with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
We are tracking a very chilly start to the weekend. Clear skies in place. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is looking dry this evening. A temperature of 39 degrees. That wind has been relentless. It's been a windy afternoon, and that wind is going to be around again tomorrow. It's just that time of year. We've got an opportunity to see the northern lights tonight. We've been getting some solar activity on the other side of the globe, and it spiked about an hour ago. So we'll talk about when the best time to see that would be, because I think we have a chance with clear skies tonight. Cloud showers return Saturday. Windy weather continues into the weekend. Sunny skies this evening. Temperatures in the upper 30s. Tracking a chilly week ahead. A look at the forecast is coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Happening tomorrow,
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. A cold day today. Lots and lots of sunshine, but that wind had a bite to it. Live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 39 degrees, clear skies, gorgeous shot, but again, it's cold walking outdoors. With clear skies in place and a lot of solar activity, we have a chance to see the northern lights tonight. You want to look to the north after sunset, maybe about an hour after sunset when it gets dark enough. I think they're going to be low on the horizon based on the Space Weather Prediction Center's forecast, but it's a forecast. And this is a new science, trying to predict the northern lights. A lot of things yet to be learned here, but there's a chance tonight to see these. You'll have a better chance if you have a camera in night mode. Look to the north, be away from city lights, look low along the horizon, and you might get lucky tonight. Again, best viewed after sunset, This is supposed to wind down. The solar activity is supposed to wind down throughout the course of the night. But again, these things can rapidly change. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look quiet. Looking at the weather heading into the weekend, we are expecting a mix of rain and snow showers here on Saturday, 49 degrees. Sunshine Sunday, it's cold, and the winds are going to be sticking around. Temperatures will be in the 40s throughout the weekend. It's going to be another windy day tomorrow. Maybe slightly less windy than today, just because we won't have as much sunshine. But the breeze is going to be sticking around. Just a reminder, this is March. This is the windiest time of the year. There's a reason why the old saying, "in like a lion," rings true. And around here, it usually ends like a lion as well. It's not until April that we start to get some relief from the constant winds. Skywatchers, Whitesboro 37 degrees, Bob and Clinton 40, Cassville 36, Jeff and Mohawk 41 degrees, Skenevis 44. The next weather system approaches from the west. This will be arriving tomorrow. It brings clouds and a few showers with it. And again, a continuation of the wind. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, clear skies tonight. And again, should we get some solar activity, skies look great to be able to look at the northern lights if they're out there. Heading into tomorrow, clouds will be thickening up throughout Saturday. We'll start out with temperatures in the 30s. We'll climb into the upper 40s. Rain showers, a couple of snow showers are possible in the higher elevations. A little accumulation is expected. Tomorrow night, rain and snow showers wind down. Sunday looks cold. Another breezy, sunny afternoon with temperatures in the upper 30s. Clear skies tonight, 28 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, rain showers arrive late in the day, 49 for the high. It's another windy afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunny on Sunday, 40 degrees. Monday, rain showers, 47. Rain and snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday. We start to warm up Thursday and Friday, but you get a pretty background on the 7-day. That's all I got.
That's all. Hey, that's better than nothing. Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Still to come here on News Channel 2. Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. We are excited.
Yes, guess what? We can see the northern lights tonight. This was taken 20 minutes ago from Smith Hill, this green line across
right
the
along the
northern
bottom there.
horizon.
That's a really, actually on TV you can see it much better right there, yeah.
They're low on the horizon. They're
Okay.
very dim, but if you look closely, you can see them with the naked eye. This is from my Nikon 3400 camera, so I'm capturing a little bit more light. Well, actually a lot more light than what you would see, but it does kind of enhance what's already out there. Again, you can see them tonight. They're happening now. We have clear skies. If you have a good view to the north, check it out. Again, it's not impressive with the naked eye, but it is visible. If you look closely enough, you should be able to see it. Again, you'll see a dim light across the horizon to the north right now. And hopefully this show gets better over the next couple of hours, but yeah, we'll see. Temperatures will be in the 40s here as we head into the weekend. We've got some chillier weather. That's going to be hanging around. We had a lot of wind today. We'll be dealing with that again tomorrow. Clear skies in place. Current temperature 27 degrees. So if you are looking for the northern lights tonight, just make sure you bundle up. It's going to be pretty chilly out there. We'll stay in the 20s here tonight. We are tracking some rain heading into the start of the weekend. A look at the forecast is coming up. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Today is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look in downtown Utica. It is a pretty chilly night, but the big story is the northern lights. We've just got some amazing lights that are starting to unfold right now. I'm literally just grabbing some photos right off my camera as we speak, and I'm going to see if I can try and get these on television to show you these. But the bottom line is if you are able to look to the north here this evening, you're going to want to look for some faded colors, and they are visible. They are dim, but they are visible this evening. So it is something that we expect to be around for at least the next at least half hour or so. And again, the visibility is looking fantastic. So I highly encourage you to go outside and check it out. We don't know how long they're going to be around, but they are happening now. And I think at least the next hour or two will give you a chance. You want to have a camera with a good night mode, ideally, to get really to draw out the best colors. But even your eyes, your naked eyes, will be able to see this here for the next couple of hours. And again, we've been having this solar storm that's been happening since this evening, but it just flared up, and it goes through these cycles. And again, ideally, the next half an hour, 2 hours is a good time to view it. Maybe it gets better. Who knows? Looking ahead, the weather looks pretty quiet this weekend. Rain and snow showers will be around Saturday, but it's back to sunshine on Sunday. Cold temperatures near 40 degrees. It is going to be a windy Saturday. The winds will be sticking around here as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. To the northwest we go. This area of low pressure swinging in. That's going to be our weather tomorrow. Clear skies, so if you're going to be northern lights hunting tonight, weather should be ideal. And again, hopefully have some luck. Heading into tomorrow, increasing clouds, rain and snow showers are expected. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s. This is mostly rain in the lower elevations. We'll get a chance to dry out as we head into tomorrow night. Partly cloudy skies on Sunday. Another cold and breezy afternoon with temperatures near 40 degrees. Tonight, clear, low of 28. Tomorrow, looking at sunshine, giving way to clouds, rain, windy conditions, 49 degrees. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Lots of sunshine. On Sunday, temperature 40. Rain returns Monday. It is looking much cooler here early next week with rain and snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday. Mostly cloudy skies on Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s.
Just now with the first look at the forecast. This is mammoth. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, big time ice being thrust on shore. This is Oneida Lake, Cleveland, New York. This picture from Matt Elliott. It's what happens when you have a long winter, a big warm up, and then you put wind into the equation.
And if you can't quite see it at home, it's on your Facebook page. The man looks like this compared. It's so huge.
I know these ice chunks are absolutely massive, and
Yeah.
they can do quite a bit of damage. Going forward, we are looking at some cooler weather. It is going to feel a lot more winter-like as we head throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. Temperatures will be in the 40s, which is closer to average. Today's 70-degree day, yesterday's 76-degree day. That's not anywhere close to where we are typically for March. This upcoming weather is a lot more standard. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some light showers out there moving to the east. Temperatures are going to be cooling off. We're 45 degrees. Again, just a few hours ago we were in the 60s. And that colder weather is going to continue to move in. Overnight lows will drop into the low 30s with a few lingering sprinkles and even a few flurries overnight. We are tracking, again, much cooler weather ahead, along with some wind. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A school bus driver in the Remsen School.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A dreary evening across Central New York. We've seen a pretty big change in the weather today. We started out with warm conditions. We made it into the upper 60s to near 70 before this cold front arrived, and now you can see the after effects. We're 45 degrees. Been seeing rain for most of the evening, and this rain is starting to move out. We look to the west. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. See this? These are snow showers. And we could see a few of them here late tonight into early tomorrow. They're very light, likely not even to accumulate. But again, don't be surprised if you see a few flurries in the air late tonight, early tomorrow. With that being said, as we head to the spring season, spring officially beginning at 5 o'clock this morning, it is not time to put any of the snow equipment away. You want to keep the snow brush handy. Probably the shovel. I'm not seeing any significant snow in the immediate future, but we can still get it in late March. We can still get accumulating snow in early April, sometimes even later in the season, but usually by that point it melts pretty quickly. We've got lots of wind in the forecast for tomorrow and Saturday. It's not damaging, but it's strong enough to be very noticeable. We've had many folks reach out to us noticing the wind and how strong it's been. Is this unusual? Well, not really. It's March, which is the windiest month of the year, and the reason why it's so windy has to do with the strong sun and the cold air aloft. As we get into the spring season, the ground warms up first, and it warms up quickly, and it creates a lot of turbulence, a lot of mixing in the atmosphere, and you often get a lot of wind in those scenarios, which we get in the month of March. As we get into April, things start to settle down. Bigger picture shows a cold front continuing to move to the east, and again behind it, just a couple of flurries. Tonight, a few light snow showers late. Overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s. We start out Friday morning cloudy, but then the clouds clear out. We'll see sunshine. It's nice, but it's cold. We've got a wind chill in the low 30s, high temperatures in the low 40s. But again, the March sunshine does help. Clear skies tomorrow night. The next weather system arrives on Saturday. It brings a few light rain showers, a cold rain, even some snow showers in the higher spots, high temperatures in the 40s. Rain and snow showers tonight, low temperature of 31. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, windy. Again, a nice day, but a lot colder. 44 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast is windy on Saturday, a cold rain, 49. Sunday, sunshine, 40 degrees. Rain returns Monday. Snow showers, generally light snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday.